little walk with me, baby, and tell me who do you love? Who do you love? Now around the town he's a rattlesnake whip. Take it easy, baby, don't you give me no lip. Who do you love? Who do you love? I got a tombstone hand, a graveyard mind. I'm just 22 and I don't mind dying. Who do you love? Yeah, who do you love? Ah, who do you love? Took her down by my hand. She said, Lonesome George, you don't understand. Who do you love? The night was dark and the sky was blue. Down the alleyway I swag and flew. Hit a bump and somebody scream. You should have heard just what I seen. Who do you love? Who do you love? Yeah, who do you love? Oh, who do you love? Graveyard man. Just 22, baby, I don't mind dying. Snakeskin shoes, baby, put them on your feet. Got the good time music with the boogie beat. Yeah, who do you love? Who do you love? I walk 47 miles of barbed wire. I got a cobra snake for a necktie. Brand new house out on the roadside, and it's made out of rattlesnake hide. Got a brand new chin, the mama bit on top, and it's made out of human skull. Come on, take a little walk with the child. Tell me who do you love? Yeah, who do you love? Who do you love?
Oh yeah, tickling your communist cornhole with the feather of freedom. It is post-politics on a Sunday night. What's up out there in Radio Land, everybody? Thanks for joining us. Holy shit. So, I don't know if you heard, Zach, but the left knows what it's like to be anti-war again.
It's fucking crazy, isn't it? Yeah, fucking. Oh man, no, actually, look, and I know we're gonna get into it. That was one of the funniest statements that I have read all day. Right, is one of the longest conversations that I actually had, and this is a guy that most people, maybe have just seen him or something like that. If you're not from Houston, but there's a rapper in Houston named Trey the Truth, and he's been around forever out here, and but. His newest album is called Hometown Hero. The dude's awesome. Literally up until a month and a half ago, the guy has been he's been trucking in food and supplies to people that got screwed over during the hurricane, right? I mean, he is working every day rebuilding shit and stuff like that for people that got hit hard with the hurricane. So he's awesome guy. But he had shared something that somebody had said about, Flint's water pipe still being fucked up, but we're doing, whatever. And so regardless of how that is actually a fucking stupid comment, because the Flint shit is being worked on, but it wasn't even him that said it. He was just sharing it. But the conversation that ensued because of it was really what I was getting into. But there was one of the statements that I had said was like, look, dude, every president since I've been alive has like made it a mission at some point to bomb, poorer or oil rich countries for, humanitarian reasons, of course,
Right.
Air quotes on the humanitarian. But there's this like conversation going on, and one chick goes, yeah, except hashtag Barack Obama. And I was like, no, like, and it was a straight legit comment. Like
that is like,
yeah,
dude,
she was, and I was like, wait, hold on, look, you can't say shit like that, because this isn't even like Barack Obama was in office like 8 years ago. This is like yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, this is we're
talking about like the whole, like, I don't know if there was any bombs fired, but like the whole shit in Egypt, the intervention. Egypt, when that shit happened,
dude, he bombed three new countries compared to Bush, and then it continued to bomb all the places that Bush was bombing. Like, it wasn't like
Iraq, Afghanistan,
Yemen, I believe,
Syria, namely.
Syria got some of that too. I mean, it really was. It's like, it was just funny because I read it and I was like, oh, come on, dude, are you serious? Like, it would be one thing if it was like, oh, well, I understand, maybe you're young and Obama was in office, like 5 years ago, and so you were just old enough to start paying attention now, right?
We're gonna have to put that on ice because it is part of a bigger conversation,
yes,
especially,
it is.
Especially the one that I had today among a much larger radio host that is
Well, I hear the bigger your radio show, the more allowed you are to be a fucking idiot. So
right, yes, and the less that you have to explain, and anybody that should drop logic into your bullshit is just dismissed as I quote, ridiculous, and you're an idiot.
Your self-righteousness is allowed to go way the fuck overboard.
Right, right. You don't have to think logically once you have a big enough podcast or radio show.
The more people that follow you, the more ignorant you're allowed to be.
And like I said, we're talking impending doom tonight to a certain extent. We'll see how that pans out. But also, we've got the fun news that we always cover. Now, and I've said this for a long time, and we actually had a lengthy conversation about it within a few weeks back. This just came out, and my comment on this article that we shared at the Post Politics Facebook page was, the left will never win because they insist on cannibalizing themselves.
Yeah.
And the article is, Pride Parade bans drag queens over fear they'll offend trans people. So that's...
Oh, wow, yeah.
We've got and other fucktardery, if you will.
You almost have to feel bad for drag queens, right? Like, man, those motherfuckers just can't get in anywhere. Like,
right. You're just gay. You don't actually identify female.
Man, yeah, you don't want a vagina. You just, I don't know. Yeah, all right. So keep going. We'll obviously get back to that ridiculous shit.
And other fucktardery.
Yeah.
David Bucknell, gay rights lawyer.
Yeah.
Immolates himself in Brooklyn's Prospect Park. Now, I had to go look up what immolates mean if it doesn't fucking already.
I only know because I play World of Warcraft, and that's an ability. So that's it.
Basically,
it's pure nerddom that gave me that.
Sets himself on fire. Kills himself by setting himself on fire by being doused in fossil fuels. That is, ironically enough,
what he is fighting. Yeah.
What he is fighting against. Yeah. So you heard that right, folks. Okay.
Unsuccessfully now, because it's hard to fight shit once you're dead.
Art Bell died, 72. We cover radio news, and we've got enough radio heads that listen to us on across our multiple platforms. Like them, love them, whatever. Art Bell died on Friday, so we'll pay homage to another radio great. UN Security Council fails to adopt Russian resolution on Syria. It seems like the rest of the UN's like really holding Russia's feet to the fire on this one, even though it's kind of unfounded. So this is very odd, very bizarre, where it's like, this is what the global leaders want, and we're kind of all on board. It's sort of what I'm seeing here. I
tried so hard to give him the benefit of the doubt, like that. Not Russia, but
the other thing is this has been done 2 or 3 times. Like,
well, my thing is that I was like, look, dude, there's got to be. I'm gonna go through all these articles, and I'm gonna find where we've got some semi-solid evidence that Assad fucking chemically attacked his own people, right? There's got to be, well, and especially even more so because Trump was like tweeting out fuck Obama when he was doing this type of shit,
right?
And then the only solid evidence that I found
left as well tonight.
Oh yeah, the only solid evidence I found was the U.S. saying, we have it on strong confidence. And I was like, get the fuck out of here.
I actually shared an article like directly after this happened, probably either Friday or Saturday, that said, I just said, was my comment for it when we shared it to our Facebook page.
Yeah.
But it said, 2 U.S. officials have proof that, and the article was kind of unfounded. It was just basically going off of the word of, quote, 2 U.S. officials.
Oh, dude, when they were talking, I mean, one of the articles that I read was that it was France has proof. And I was like, oh, okay, well, then maybe it was that the U.S. doesn't have proof, but France does.
Right.
And so we're just going off of the proof of France. And so I read that article, and there wasn't any listing of proof. It was just...
I was also in the works when I woke up Saturday morning, and another article that I saw said that it wasn't just the U.S., but also UK and France bombs were part of
but here's the thing. All 3 of them, out of like 3 of the most powerful countries in the fucking world, all of the proof that they have is the leader of said country going, they did it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're like... wait a second. And that was one of the things that I said. I was like, oh, look, so the allies that decided that we had to attack Iraq because they had weapons of mass destruction, they have a high level of confidence that he gassed his own people. So we should definitely just go ahead and start bombing them then. Like,
right.
It was just fucking baffling. And what got me is like how many people, though, were like, no, we have to do this, or Syria's just going to start thinking it's okay to just chemically attack whoever they want. And I was like, we don't even have proof that they chemically attacked the first people they wanted to.
Well, we'll expand upon this. We're going to hit the intro, and I guess this is something that we've just got to lead off with tonight. And
For sure.
Between the articles that we have and the personal conversations we have, I think this will probably take up the better part of the hour. So hang in tight. And I've got some lovely comedy bits. We got Eddie Pepitone on for Carlin's Corner tonight.
And that guy is perfect for tonight's topics.
I got a bunch of end of the world, World War type shit and anti-war shit. As far as music is concerned tonight as well. So
awesome.
We'll be back in 2 minutes, everybody. Stay tuned. It is the End of the World podcast, Post Politics. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
And the sad part is that most people seem to have been indoctrinated to believe that bullshit only comes from certain places, certain sources. Advertising, politics, salesmen, not true. Bullshit is everywhere.
The NWO Fighter, the show that gets America its balls back.
And you've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels, upon all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who run it, to the people who own it, that unless you're free, the machine will be prevented from working at all.
I don't want to put a violent connotation on it, but this is a war zone. I'm talking about my life and yours.
If you're not on some government list by now, you're doing something wrong.
After 8 years of lies and hypocrisy, people up this guy. Leads me to a very disturbing question. How far up your ass does this guy's dick have to be before you realize he's fucking you?
It's good for kids, too.
I mean, you're born absolutely free except for laws of nature. If you drink, you get drunk. That's a law. If you get old, you die. That's a law, too. If you sit on a tack, you will bleed from the ass. These are the only laws that you're born with, and any government just fucks you out of that type of freedom.
If you're not involved by now, you are just as much at fault as our oppressors.
I was terrified when my doctor told me that I had a unique and interesting personality trait.
It's post-politics with Trip here.
All right, everybody, we're back at it once again. Post politics kicking off. We're talking Syria intervention, and another unsuspecting ally turned the table this weekend. I don't know if you know about that or not, but
Fuck him. Fuck his family. Fuck all these people. All right, see, I shouldn't even be live right now. When are we going on the fucking satellite? God fucking damn it, man. What the fuck? Is there nobody fucking pure in this goddamn fucking world? See, now I'm fucking pissed right now. Syria fought Al-Qaeda, they fought ISIS, they fought it all. And now you got Mattis and fucking all these people shitting all over us. And the goddamn fucking liberal fascists censoring us everywhere the last 2 days. We did an emergency fucking 36-hour broadcast trying to stop this shit that could lead to World War III. And you fucking liberal pieces of fucking shit, you fucking assholes, fucking support this. Fuck you. You fucking goddamn degenerate fucks. And fucking Mueller and fucking Comey and fuck you. Every major analyst, see, I shouldn't even be on there right now. Every analyst agrees that this could trigger World War III unlike anything in our history. And the Russians were the good guys battling ISIS and Al-Qaeda. I'm not a Russophile. I've never been to Russia. But I've studied the geopolitics. They are the white knights. And our military 5 years ago joining the Russians to block Obama and the Arab Spring and do the right thing, did the right thing. And now Mattis and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs and Trump have shit from end to end all over it. And don't think they don't know. I mean, my God, Fast and Furious was Obama shipping guns into Mexico to trans-ship them in the Middle East. Benghazi was all about this. Trump was so on target, everything he did. And I will leave 10% judgment here to see what happens. My first approximation is, my pledge to you is, I'm going to shoot you straight on Facebook and Twitter. And I am sick to my stomach right now. And Mattis looks like a fucking Emperor Palpatine. When that cocksucker
dude
knows full fucking well that Al-Qaeda and ISIS staged all those fucking chemical attacks.
I love you again, Alex.
I shouldn't be on there right now. When the fuck are we going live? I can't do this shit anymore.
We're ready to go live.
Fuck Trump and fuck these fucking people.
Yes, dude. I fucking, oh man, I didn't even want to say it yet. I mean, it's still too early to say it, but Alex, I love you again, sir. Fuck, dude. And really just for that honesty.
this is
yeah, no, it's fucking beautiful. Like
you gotta give it to him, man. You
yeah,
got
dude.
And not only that, I've never
never heard him go off. No, I mean, you should have played the fucking, am I the only one who gives a fuck about the rules anymore? Like that, dude, he sounded exactly like him. It really just, dude, it's 100% accurate though. That's exactly, I mean, that was, and I'm
God crazy! Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Dude, that was fucking exactly the same.
Yeah.
But it's true though, like, and I'm not, I was never I the difference between us and Alex, obviously, is we weren't as big of fans of Trump before this, but but it really is like that makes me feel really good because
there's pre-search of that. There's a longer clip than just that 2-minute one that we played that he was basically saying that, like, Alex was basically saying that all of this scandal shit and all that stuff had a lot to do with Trump, like, quote, flipping sides and making this move, was like to go and do that. Now, the bad thing is
I can see where that's probably true.
That's turned off fucking Trump supporters over the past 48 hours, obviously.
Yeah.
You know? Like there's a lot of people jumping off the Trump bandwagon.
Yeah.
And like, this is doing him no favors.
No, it's not. Well, I mean, because here's the deal, dude. It's not doing anybody any fucking favors. That's my thing.
Yeah, sure.
And that's exactly what I mean, that was one of the things that I had said. I was like, wait a second. So you're talking about a guy who's fighting 2 different terrorist organizations right now and has been for quite some time. And he just up and decided to fucking start chemically attacking his own people. Like that would basically that does no good for him. What the fuck does that get him?
Like we had said earlier, this has already been tried 2 times before, you know, during the Obama years with Syria. And, of course, most people have seen it. Go look up the fucking U.S.-backed pipeline and then the Iran-Russian pipeline. You'll see why Syria is such a huge deal. If they can get past Syria, they can both have their pipelines in uncharted territory that no other wars would ensue in the rest of the countries that are being used to build this pipeline to the rest of Europe.
Yeah.
So past that, we really shouldn't have any other problem if they can get past Syria with this. So
but the only problem is that it's going to the only problem that they will have is I can tell you right now, they're gonna have a fucking problem with Russia. I mean.
Sorry. That's like, it's the last people. But then you've got leftists going like, okay, if there was and once again, this is not me taking up for Trump. It's me like looking at pure logic and rhetoric here.
And just looking at the situation as best you can.
If Trump and all these Republicans are so in bed with the fucking Russians, why would this happen?
Yeah, there is no reason to do that shit right now. I mean,
if that was the case, that would never happen.
Unless this is like,
if what mainstream media has been pumping us for the past year is even the slightest bit true, there's no way on earth that this would actually happen, but it did.
Yeah, I mean, no, it is very, very strange, man. And here's my thing, like, I think that the people that, because you've got a lot of, and it's mainly liberals that are acting like this anyway. But and excuse me, man, I've been like having to fucking burp for like the past 30 fucking minutes, and I can't.
For it.
Yeah, I know. So I'm just letting the audience know if I have to fucking let one rip. I apologize, but that's it's one of those things. I don't. But one of my biggest things with it is that I don't think people understand. We haven't fought a military power, like we haven't done that, and. Russia will give us some fucking hell. I tried to explain
to my wife and my stepson about what this is and Cold War 2.0. I said, except we don't need the rhetoric, and we don't need the scare, and we don't need the arms building like we did when we were kids and when our parents were kids. Yeah. We don't need that anymore. It's a direct fucking source issue nowadays.
Yeah, now you're looking at two fucking serious military powers. Yeah.
You're looking down the barrel of the gun now, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the cool thing is that I mean, I guess as cool as it can be.
I was about to say.
Like, I mean, at least it won't. Here's the thing. I don't think nukes are I really don't think nukes are an issue.
You have no frame of reference here, Donnie.
Right?
I don't think nukes are an issue, right? You have people all the time that are like, "Oh no, World War III, it's gonna be people dropping nukes," and it's like, no, that doesn't really. Here's the deal, dude. You don't really drop nukes on places that you want that place. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to just drop a nuke on the U.S. and go, well, nobody goes there for 50 fucking years. You know what I mean?
I think at this point, like, don't get me wrong, I believe everybody has enough nuclear armament to fucking blow up the entire fucking world.
Absolutely, yeah. I don't have any doubt on that.
Unless you hit a cache filled with nuclear fucking weapons with another nuclear weapon, I don't think that fucking real apocalyptic thing will fucking happen.
Yeah.
Because you're absolutely right about that. But that just the case of that incremental fucking horse shit, that back and forth, that incremental horse shit that's going on now will only continue to escalate if everybody wants to put their dick on the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, regardless, like you're dealing with, and what's crazy is actually it's even more risky and fucking scary just because you have a guy like Trump in there. And look, dude, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Like, no, Trump is. I'm not saying he's stupid. I don't believe by any means that Trump is stupid, but he is a fucking egomaniac to the core, dude. And I think, dude, like nobody, you couldn't fucking not be in. You couldn't not be, whatever. However, I'm saying that you can't not be an egomaniac and tweet out shit like he does. Like it's not a, you know what I mean? Like I don't think by any stretch of the imagination anybody believes that this tweeting thing that he does all the fucking time is some kind of show. Like he's doing that shit because he just can't help himself.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's a little fucking scary, man, to have him at the helm when this is going down.
I believe close to half of the people that have been fired so far in that fucking cabinet have probably at one time going like, can he just lay off the Twitter, And it's and that got back to him somehow, you know.
No, and there's probably a few people that fucking laughed about the small hands thing too much. You know what I mean?
Whatever it might be. Yeah,
exactly. Whatever hurts his ego. You know what I mean? Just too much. I don't think there's any doubt with people, even like the people that are still gung ho Trump fans. I think are pretty willing to admit that he's a little fucking crazy when it comes to that shit. So I don't know, man. I really do like, and here's my thing is I didn't think that shit like this was, and not because I thought he was in bed with Russia, but because he has at least been honest enough, right, with what he's said or how he feels about shit, because it seems like it's off the top of his head type of deal, that I didn't think he would be fucking bombing fucking Syria. You know what I mean? I just didn't. I didn't see that happening. So when it ramped up and went to that, I was like, whoa, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fucking strange, man.
Well, right quick before we hit our first break, we'll cover this, and then I want to get into you and I's private discussions with people, and just as that's sort of like us, I guess, giving our man on the street value to what has been going on with this situation and how people are reacting, at least the people that are involved with on social media. But this got released yesterday afternoon. United Nations Security Council fails to adopt a Russian resolution on Syria. And this is kind of what I hinted to, where it was like, seems weird because the rest of the UN seems to be like, no, Assad needs to go, and ironically enough, the fucking people that are involved in the UN are more predominantly U.S. allies. You don't have a bunch of these people that are from the Russian-backed and the Russian ally people involved with the UN. All of these rogue Middle Eastern countries, etc., that are involved in the UN. But you do have an overwhelming amount of people that are aligned with the U.S. So you just have this whole shoot down of what. Russia didn't do anything to stop this. They said that they would help get rid of the chemical weapons in places such as Syria, etc., and they didn't. And this is 3 times over, yada, yada, yada. But here we go. The United Nations Security Council failed to adopt a Russian-drafted resolution on Saturday that would have condemned, quote, the aggression against the Syrian Arab Republic by the U.S. and its allies in violation of international law and the UN Charter. Only Russia, China, and Bolivia voted in favor of the draft resolution. Of course.
Fuck. I couldn't have told you that Bolivia was going to do it, but yeah. That's only because I don't know shit about Bolivia, right?
I got money. I got money that's not even currently used in Bolivia, from Bolivia. And my grandfather that just recently passed away, he used to bring us back shit. He used to go to Bolivia, Peru, fucking, he's been to China, he's been to Russia, he went to all those fucking places. But that was, he always bring us back a little bit of currency because, you know, it's like, wow, you got 10,000 fucking Prussian francs or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
He paid $1 for or whatever. But 8 countries voted against the draft. Yeah, so a resolution needs 9 votes in favor and no vetoes by Russia, China, France, Britain, or the United States to pass. So those 5 countries, no vetoes. I didn't know about the UN's voting fucking schedule. Their little statist bullshit that they deal with.
Their little thing they got going on there.
Yeah, I'll read that again. A resolution needs 9 votes in favor and no vetoes by Russia, China, France, Britain, or the United States to pass. So those 5 countries cannot veto if they want anything to pass, which puts us kind of at odds in with the fucking UN, which is pretty much how it should have been the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, just show you that the fucking UN is completely full of shit. Like, that's what it is. You know, you put, of course, France and Britain will be with us on anything, no matter what, you know. And when you say Russia and China in there, it's like, well, that's, you know, 2 whole opposite ends of the fucking spectrum. But they are the, quote, these are the, quote, world superpowers.
Absolutely,
you know?
yeah.
So, yeah, they kind of, the UN has sort of dug their heels into the back of those 5 countries to sort of say, like, hey, if any one of these countries have a problem with whatever the fuck's going on, then we've got a serious issue to deal with here. So that's kind of where everything stands, you know, with that as of right now. And you know, this hit after the, quote, you know, weekly news cycle on Friday. I was just going on air with the Friday Night Super Show. We talked about a good little bit on that. And but it's interesting to see what the Monday morning, you know, wave of media has to say about this.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll be, of course, following that as it escalates, which it undoubtedly will.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, for sure.
Well, we're gonna hit our first break here, and we'll come back and we'll get into our personal conversations to get the pulse of the people.
Yeah.
With the fucktards that we have to do.
Yeah, right. And I hope it's not the real pulse of the people. That's for sure.
Right. So we'll do that when we come back. Stay tuned. More Post Politics coming up next.
But I wish, you know, I've gotten so far to the left with all the shit that's gone on in this country. I wish my politics would bleed into like game shows, because I like to watch game shows. Like I said, I have like this competitive element, you know, to me. And like, I would love to see, for instance, like on The Price is Right, I would love to see a woman from Oklahoma have to guess the price of the Iraq War. Instead of a blender. Like, it would be great. You know, she'd be like, you know, like the curtain would open and it's just fucking real life carnage that industrial warfare does. Like just a real life industrial warfare kind of carnage, like just people running around on fire, limbless, and she's just jumping up and down going, I don't know. And people in the audience are yelling, 5 billion a day! 5 billion! Didn't we wrap up the Iraq War? No, there's a standing army there! No, many troops! Under the guise of training them, no, it's still 5. Does that include Afghanistan? 10
billion! 10 billion! 10 billion a day with Afghanistan! Is Guantanamo Bay still open? Yes, contrary to what was said. Yes. But I would say 10 billion. I don't know. And then a vet gets up in the audience and he's like, you can't put a price on it! Don't play that fucking game! War is just big business! They just give us one fucking enemy after another. It used to be the Russians. It was Gaddafi. It used to be Castro. Now it's fucking Al-Qaeda. They just put a face on fucking fear and they just want to make money and they have poor people fighting rich man's wars. That's what it... And she starts... She's still jumping up and down, but she's starting to, like, get the message that this isn't a good fucking thing. Don't you fucking do it! All right, it's not right! Don't you fucking bet! $350! They always guess $350.
Daddy, why are people dropping bombs on each other? I don't understand.
Some like sunshine, some like rain. Some like pleasure, and some like pain. Some like peace, and some like war. And some don't even know what they're fighting for. What you're fighting for, what you're fighting for. Do you even really know what you're fighting for? What you're fighting for? All I wanna do is live this beautiful life. Feel free with my girl, my friends and family. Spread my peace and love and truth and unity. Trying to stop all the violence and the wars overseas. People come, people go. I know this ain't some shit, but I can't get depressed over someone else's nonsense. There's no reason or time for me to be mad or sad. So do you even really know? Some like sunshine, some like rain. Some like pleasure and some like pain. Some like peace and some like war. And some don't even know what they're fighting for. What you're fighting for, what you're fighting for. Do you even really know what you're fighting for? What you're fighting for? You and you, that too, I'm fighting for that too. And I hope all of the soldiers come back safe and real soon. We got what's being fought on the streets every day, while the rich fill their pockets and the poor just pay. I'm fighting for love and I'm fighting for life, against those doing wrong and for those doing right. Yeah, for my family and my future to come. Cause if I don't fight now, then there just might not be one. Some like sunshine, some like rain. Some like pleasure and some like pain. Some like peace and some like war. And some don't even know what they're fighting for. What you're fighting for, what you're fighting for. Do you even really know what you're fighting for? What you're fighting for? You see, I can see a light in the strangest ways, on the darkest nights and the coldest days, and I'm amazed somehow that I can keep smiling. I can hear music in the depths of silence. I can find peace in the middle of violence, and I can be calm when I should be wilding. I can find hope when there is despair, and I don't feel alone when there's no one there. Some like sunshine, some like rain. Some like pleasure and some like pain. Some like peace and some like war. And some don't even know what they're fighting for. Some what you're fighting for, what you're fighting for. Some like you don't even really know what you're fighting for. What you're fighting for.
All right, I'm back. That's what we're dealing with.
Yep.
fucking, you think about that shit and like explaining shit to your kids, it's like and it, like that song, I mean, it's, whew,
yeah,
God, 12, 13 years old at this point.
Yeah.
It's off of Cottonmouth Kings, number 8. If you want to go check it out, it's called Let the Sun Shine. But, yeah, it's like, Daddy, why are people dropping bombs on each other? And it's like, well, there's and then you basically go into the fucking Eddie Pepitone bit that we played earlier. It's like, and it's just about greed and money, and they don't care how many people they kill to get what they want. They're gonna do their best.
Dude, it's so fucking true, though. I mean, it really is. Like, it's
cocksuckers, and
it's fucking mind blowing that, like. I mean, that's what I don't understand, dude. Like, I really don't get.
I'm done trying to. We're not supposed to. We're not supposed to.
I mean, it's like. I think that the hardest thing for me, though, is to understand how your fucking regular, everyday people.
Will
still say shit. No, we'll still argue for them, right? Like, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like, wait a second, dude. Like, that these guys.
He told me that,
yeah, I mean, here's my thing, right?
For every fucking thing, whenever somebody has something opposite to say against them about like what the shit arguments that we're having tonight. Is like really what you should lead off with was, well, Chris Matthews or Rachel Maddow or Sean Hannity told me that and Anderson Cooper told me that this was what it was. Like, just say that. Just say that and acting like you're fucking intelligent.
When your fucking deal is, okay, like, here you go, the people that lied to get us into World War I, that lied to get us into Vietnam, the people that lied to get us into the Iraq War, those guys told us that they had real strong confidence that these guys chemically attacked their own fucking people while fighting 2 terrorist organizations, external threats, right? These guys had, 2 external threats that they were fighting, and they felt like it would be the best time to gas their own fucking people.
Right, right.
Like
and I haven't brought this up in a long time, but, I mean, that's really like what my bread and butter was back in the day when I first started this show, too, was like, we talked a lot about like these quote false flag events, and like false flag has been thrown around too much. And when you want to talk about a real false flag, this is what we're talking about. This
absolutely, because
is the epitome of what a false flag event
here's
is.
The thing, like, no, I mean, to the people that, I mean, dude, message to the conspiracy theorists and the people that are and the people that aren't just so much caught on conspiracy theory, but the people of
twice a day,
Yeah, I mean, you're dissenters and shit of government. Like, hey, listen, dude, quit. You don't even need to fucking talk about 9/11, all right? Because it's a fucking hot button shit that you can't really prove right now. But go to the fucking. I mean, yes, you can prove it in your own head, right? But to everybody else, you're not going to be able to give them solid evidence on it. But here's the deal, like, that you can openly fucking show people that Operation Paperclip was a real deal, that fucking the Lusitania was a real deal to get us into World War I. You can tell that fucking the Gulf of Tonkin to get us into Vietnam was a real deal, because these are all things that the U.S. government admits to.
Right.
All right. So my thing is if out of the Iraq War, the World War I, and Vietnam, if we know and they openly admit that they lied to get us into those now, then why the fuck would you take people's word who did that on shit like this, where they're not saying like, oh, hey, here we have the proof, right? They're just saying we have it on strong confidence. Like,
100%.
Yeah, I mean, if you had a fucking boyfriend or girlfriend that had fucking lied to you fucking 3 out of the 5 times about something, would you take their strong confidence on the fucking 6th time? You know what I mean? Like,
this really leads into my fucking interaction with this radio. No, I want you to go first. Like,
no, I mean, mine really was just on that. I mean, really, I'm kind of summarizing and paraphrasing the stuff that I got into with that.
I mean, what all went down with that?
I mean, really, it was very much. And I don't have it open in front of me because I don't want to dig through my phone because it was on Instagram. So it's one of those, if I could just open it up on Facebook on a computer,
I might want
it'd be
to
easier.
do that ahead of my story anyway. But yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of it was which is crazy because usually, I mean, it's on a rapper's page, so you've got a lot of liberal-minded people, right, that you're arguing with because a lot of minority people tend to not be huge fans of Trump, right? But what's crazy is that these same people, though, are like, come on, man, we have to do this kind of shit because you can't just let people go around gassing people. And I'm like, dude, you don't remember when they couldn't find, this is one of the things, I was like, you remember when they couldn't find the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq? What was their fucking fallback? Oh, he gassed some Kurds. Like, meanwhile, the gassing of the Kurds happened like a fucking decade before we ever went in there, right?
Sure. Yeah.
But it was just like, wait a second, that was their fallback on that. You know what I mean? Like, and you guys now are deciding that fucking, hey, dude, he's gassing his own people. Like, let's try and figure out how much sense this makes, right? And most people were like, come on, dude, why would they lie about it? Like, that was like a regular thing that I was hearing. Like, why would they lie? I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious? What do you mean, why would they lie? And it starts like, when I get into conversations like that, I literally have to kind of back up and be like, hold on, dude. Like, and think, because it blows my fucking mind that that's still. And so, I mean, really, like, to tell you the truth, I have like lost so much hope in people fucking as a whole free thinking or
that's the difference between us and the rest of the fucking bots and the statists out there too, by the way, is that we're going like, fuck, you guys are lost. But guess what? We're the only group of people that's not going to exert our fucking will onto you. Like that really is. Think about it in a real mainstream faction. There is that we are the people that are not going to exert our will. We might give up hope on you. We might say fuck you, good luck. But yeah, okay, you're retarded.
That's our big. I mean, that's the big thing that makes, like, at least in my eyes, right? That's very much the thing that makes me different than those people.
Absolutely. It's like, you can just say, sorry, your fucktardery can overtake you for as long as you want. I tried. Good luck.
Yeah.
But we're not going to exert our will onto you people because we know whatever, it's like, yeah, you'll figure it out before too long. Keep voting. Maybe that'll change things.
Yeah, no shit. Well, one of the things that somebody had said was actually, and now the post that he had originally made was him sharing, and I don't remember the person that originally made the quote. I do now. It was Sean King was originally the guy that had fucking, done the tweet. But the tweet was, we've spent this much on, 27 or 127 million dollars on bombs or missiles rather, and it only cost 55 million to fix the pipes in Flint, Michigan, right? But the thing is like Flint, Michigan, they're already working on that. That's already been signed over. Like, the money's already been given to Flint to fix that.
Right.
So it's a stupid fucking comment. But my thing is the guy's like, it says. He's like, there was this much money spent on illegal drugs purchased by Americans this year. You know what I mean? But we're blaming the government for this. And I was like, what? Like, how fucking easy is it for you to start blaming people that use fucking, quote, illegal drugs, right?
You could, if they were all legal, you could probably put that at about.
Oh no, and that's exactly what I did. I was like, I was like, you should probably go check the statistics because I can pretty much guarantee you there are more addicts and more deaths associated with legal drugs than there are with illegal ones now. I believe the numbers have switched up on that.
If you made those fucking legal, you would probably be dealing with about a quarter of the money there as well,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but it's one of those things where it's like, hold on, dude, you switched to blame, and that was the first thing I said. I was like, well, listen, I think the Flint thing's already handled, but I was like, Here's my deal, dude. You fucking. The reason being is because illegal drug users didn't fucking take money out of my paycheck to deal with these specific types of fucking problems.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's like going to the fucking donut shop and giving the guy your money for a donut, and then he doesn't give you a donut, and then you blaming the burger guy down the street for not fucking making you a donut.
King is full of shit because Krispy Kreme didn't serve me. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. And they're like, wait, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't, this shit does not compute,
that's
sir.
why we're starting a campaign against Whoppers while we're at it, too.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Because fucking Dunkin' Donuts pissed me off. You know what I mean?
Right.
It doesn't fuck. I was like, I just don't like,
So you have no frame of reference here, Donnie.
It's like, I totally get, I agree that, it's that people probably spend too much money on drugs, but I feel like you're pointing the blame in the wrong fucking direction here. Yeah, because I've never heard a crackhead be like, it is my responsibility to fix the Michigan fucking water issue.
Who suffer mental illness are suffering from pain, and it's nothing to laugh at.
It's so serious, dude. It's ridiculous in the best of fashions. Now, while semi-unrelated, and I've called him out before, and Matt Major is welcome to call into this fucking show anytime, but he's a coward on his own posts, and most of the people that he's surrounded himself with are fucking just minions. They just are.
Seems to be the case with most people like that.
And this pretty much goes out to all our like Bubba Army, Raz Radio, Saucy Talk Radio, Radio Chaos people. Like I said before, Matt Major's on Bubba's online network. But he did put this out here this morning, and I'll read through a good bit of this here. So he said, there's a meme attached to this, and it says, "Stop attacking your neighbors. They are the absolute least of our problems." And there's a picture of Trump golfing that says, "Trump has now spent 67 million taxpayer dollars on his golf trip." But by all means, and on the lower half of the picture is a steak.
I am so fucking tired of hearing about people fucking golfing.
Yeah. Well, like I said, on the bottom half it says, "But by all means, keep being mad about the single mother who used her food stamps to buy steak." Now, my whole thing is that I pointed out there's a 5-month-old article that I found that Obama's family's travels topped 114 million over the course of his tenure, and so. My whole deal was, I said, this is 5 months old, but I don't remember leftists bitching about this. I, however, stay consistent. Taxation is theft, so I don't care if it's a D president or an R president or a welfare recipient. Cops, military, and government employees included. And that seemed to catch some heat. Trump spends more in a month than Obama spent in 8 years. And that's not true either. Trump did not spend more in a month than Obama spent in 8 years. That's just not true. I said, was it wrong when Obama did it too? He responded, "Taxation is theft. Ha 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 ha. You should really leave that. It immediately tells folks they can skip the rest of your nonsense post. Then make an argument why I said this. Then why make an argument why others are, in parentheses, anyone, entitled to the fruits of my labor. That's ridiculous, or you're an idiot is not a valid argument here," because that's what he usually comes back with. Like, this is a ridiculous argument I'm not going to engage in. Like, he never engages in these fucking arguments on an intellectual level. He just calls them ridiculous and fucking goes on to the next.
Of course,
so, he said, "No, I'm not even dipping my toe."
Reasonable people would.
After I said, in quotations, "That's ridiculous," or, quote, "You're an idiot," is not a valid argument here. His response within a minute or two later says, "No, I'm not even dipping my toe in this useless, ridiculous debate." That was after I just said, quote, This is what you normally come back with. And he also happened to use ridiculous debate in his response to it. And I said, see, you want to spout a bunch of one-way garbage and won't even admit that it was just as wrong when Obama did it too. And then he responds, taxation as theft is the political equivalent of Earth is flat. And I said, not quite. And let's say taxation isn't theft, in quotations, which it is. What is wrong when Obama spent over $100 million on taxpayer-paid vacations too? And I said, was it still wrong, whether it was $100 million or $100 billion? And he responded, when you start out with your ideology on taxes, it's clear to see that anything you could argue is irrelevant to you. It's a waste of time for all of us. There's no reason for me to bother. I get myself caught up in this trap all too often. Not today, Satan. I said, I've asked the same question 100 times, and you still can't admit it's wrong when Obama did it too. Who's the biased one? And there's another guy that was just like, Trump's a liar. He's a fucking asshole, and all this shit. And he said, the other guy, not Matt, but another guy said, certainly is. So is lying daily. My point isn't about right or wrong. It's about being a lying, hypocritic sack of shit. And I said to him, your premiums will not increase. Quote. He says, they're still increasing. Trump. And I said, you're still acting like Obama wasn't a lying piece of shit too. All presidents and politicians are liars. I'm not making a case for Trump here. That's where you're confused. So I went on back and forth with this guy. That's
pretty much
and like I said, Matt just dropped it right off. I'm sorry, I don't usually do that, and I hate reading from posts like that. Yeah. But I thought that it was notable to quote there is that there are just some people out there that will not admit, like, no, Trump's a liar. Trump spends taxpayer-paid vacation money. Like they don't know how to think outside of that fucking duopoly.
No.
They refuse to reject the left-right paradigm, and they can't sit there and admit that Obama is just as bad as Trump.
Yeah, because he's not. He's their guy.
Possibly worse.
Yeah, that's the way you have to. If it's your guy, you have to be completely blind.
He can't admit that his guy's a cocksucker too.
Yeah.
That's where, like, and I'm like, you have a bigger radio show than me.
No,
and you
should be honest. Like, fuck.
You're not honest, and you fail to engage on like the simplest of fucking platforms. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna have a politically biased show, like, his whole stack of cards comes down if he admits that what I said was right, which anybody with half a brain would fucking know that. Like, no, I'm not making a case for Trump here, but I'm saying Obama's a cocksucker too, and you can't fucking admit that he's a liar. You know what I mean? Like, you won't admit that. Like I'm sitting here telling you that both of them are liars, but I would rather have a liar that's very blatant and in your face about it, and everybody go, this guy's lying out of his fucking teeth. Then some. I tell you what, every single time, and that's what I told the other guy. I didn't read the rest of that post, the back and forth I had with the other guy, not Matt, on that. But I said I would much prefer somebody that's very blatantly obvious in their lying and in their response and makes no apologies about their lying than I would some cocksucker that fucking sits there and shakes my hand and goes, yeah, I'm not fucking your woman or whatever, you know, smile in my face. Like, that's way worse to me. I'm sorry. It's way worse.
No, I mean, it definitely.
It's not a case for Trump. I don't want a motherfucker that's so like passive in his approach to tell me that he's a liar and a cocksucker, to sit there and shake my hand and smile in my face and go, you know how bad I'm really fucking you? Yeah, you do.
Well, I mean, I just wish that somebody would
let you,
It would just be nice if fucking people would recognize that, like, regardless of, like, what kind of fucking liars they are and shit like that, they are all fucking lying to you. and that they are, and I realized that was the point you were getting at with him. But it's one of those things that it's just like, dude, they're clearly all fucking lying. They're all bullshitting you, and to sit back and be like, oh well, it's either okay to fucking bomb this country because we have Trump, or it's okay to bomb this country because we have Obama, is just fucking disingenuous altogether. Like, it just makes no sense.
Like you're really starting to see the shift of the mainstream media too, where it was like a lot of that kind of shit was talked about yet hidden when Obama was doing it. Much worse stuff than Trump's done at this point. I'm not saying,
but even then,
I'm not even saying it won't escalate to a very.
That's what I was about to say. I think it's going to be very similar. It just hasn't yet. It just has. He hasn't been in long enough to be on quite as shitty of a level that Obama was at that point.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. But like I said, like I'm not saying that it won't even escalate to a much noticeably shittier level than Obama ever did. It might very well be. But
I think that's pretty much a given.
Point, the mainstream media has really been like, oh well, we had sanctions and we had strikes this week to this, that, and the other, and whatever, and the war on terror and ISIS and all this shit, like all that shit during Obama's reign, like the media was very kind.
Oh,
to
yeah, definitely.
Barack Obama, that in a way that they're totally not with Trump, obviously. So, like I said, it's like the mainstream media outlets and sources are, it's just like, no, you really have to, if there's one thing that I can break down for you people, is that please ask yourself how you really feel about the fucking situation. I know for the most part, I'm preaching the choir for our audience here, but for real, like if you can take something from this particular show, think about that, because we all have to deal with these other type of people that me and Zach just described in our lives, whether it's online or family members or other friends or whatever. We all have to deal with these people to a certain extent, but let that sit with you. Is how do you really feel about it? Not what fucking Anderson Cooper or Sean Hannity or Trump or Obama or anybody else wants to tell you how to feel about it. Sit back aside from all that. Ask yourself how you really feel about it, and that's the truth. That's the truth. However you feel about it, unbiased from outside influences.
Well, at least that's your truth. Like, no doubt.
I'm not sitting on a throne telling everybody how to fucking act and how to feel or anything. I'm just saying, I'm also saying that people like us, people outside of that spectrum, have also come to a place of self-actualization to where we don't wait on pundits and politicians to tell us how to think, feel, and believe, and what the truth is, and what the whatever. We already know, because we're ingrained in a certain ideology that is unwavering. So with that unwavering ideology that is very neutral, the most neutral, that's why we subscribe to that ideology. Yeah, you got nothing else left. Just ask yourself how you feel about it, aside from what everybody else is telling you, and that's the truth. Bam!
Yes. No, I mean, that's it, dude. It is. It's fucking it. I really don't. I mean, that's kind of my thing, right? I'm not asking everybody. I'm not asking everybody to necessarily subscribe to the same ideology I do. Right?
I'm not telling you how to think.
But here's my thing, like, fuck people. Like, you
hold on, bitch. You get it once again. Fuck people.
Stop. Yeah. I mean, everybody stop being a fucking idiot. Like, what the fuck is going on to where, I mean, seriously, that's the thing, is that I have watched even fucking liberals be like, no, you can't just let this kind of shit go on. And you're like, what the fuck do you mean you can't let this kind of shit go on? We don't actually have proof that anything went on. Like, that's what is just fucking crazy to me. Because you would think that after Iraq and all that, and there's people like, dude, people on both sides of the aisle now admit we should have never went into Iraq. Why then?
We don't learn anything from it.
Yeah, why then are we fucking? Why then is it that we are willing to go bomb another fucking country on sheer fucking? Well, I mean, we're pretty confident. You know
By the
what I
way,
mean?
if this was 1960, now let's think about. Okay, it's been 15 years since we have invaded Iraq. Okay, it's been 15 years, almost to a little over 15 years and 1 month, really, since we invaded Iraq. Now, you take that time frame, 15 years, and you tell me from 1955 to 1970, if in that same time frame, those people would have bought the same type of bullshit, and they would have never bought that. But our attention span as a society, technology, news cycles, et cetera, 24-hour news cycles, etc. It's we're dealing with a whole different ball game. People don't remember fucking yesterday, you know.
Well, and I think, like, I mean, it is, you know, we've said this plenty of times too. People are just so goddamn comfortable, dude.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, but I mean, here's my thing, like, how can you sit? Like, these same people will make posts about fucking, oh, but you know. We need to take care of the poor people, and you're like, dude, we can't even stop bombing poor people. Like, would you fucking, like, fuck you? You want to tell me we should be giving people houses? We can't even stop dropping bombs on people.
Goddamn rich cunt!
It just doesn't make any fucking sense, and it's like, I just don't get it anymore. Like, I mean, that's kind of my thing. It's just so fucking, it's just so goddamn misguided, dude. It really
I'm 100% with you, dude. Like, nobody can point, like it's like society is a bunch of kids with that connect the dots fucking 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way around the dinosaur to make a dinosaur at the end of the fucking thing, and they can't find 5 to 6. They can't.
Dude. No, like, they've got the body of the dinosaurs all drawn out, right? But as it goes up the little Brontosaurus neck, they just fucking draw a circle. You know what I mean? They're just like, oh, fuck it. Hey, I can't.
They just write racist and like.
Yeah, that's what it is. No, that's what it is.
They write
finished half the connect the dots
racial
picture.
epithets across the fucking entire thing. Just
half the fucking dinosaur is drawn, and they're like, oh, fucking
Brontosaurus,
racist.
like.
Yeah.
Fucking vegan.
Why is the dinosaur green? You know what I mean? Why don't they have a brown dinosaur? Like, the fuck out of here! I just don't fucking understand.
Vegan Jew Brontosaurus is wrecking this fucking country, like fucking Red Scare. All right, we're gonna hit break, everybody. We'll be back and officially kick off the second hour here. Thanks everybody for joining us. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. More post politics coming up next. Here's some end of the world shit.
Well, every female on the species is there. The end is near. So don't you worry about the HIV. Get drunk. Tell your puke all over the floor. We're gonna die tomorrow. So let's get hammered like never before. Yeah, the clock is running down. You say. Let's all party like tomorrow is the end of the world. Let's all party like tomorrow is the end of the world. Tomorrow is the end of the world. Tomorrow is the end of the world. Let's all party like tomorrow is the end of the world. Party freaking hardy like tomorrow is the end of the world. Let's all party like tomorrow is the end of the world. Party freaking hardy like tomorrow is the end of the effing world. Tomorrow is the end of the world.
You're either going to like this song or kick my ass after the show.
You're the love of my life, but it cuts like a knife, and I feel that I'm being misled. See, I'm a little concerned, for I recently learned of the swastika tattoo on your head. And it makes you smile when you hear Sieg Heil. You love the smell of a burning cross in the yard. You do goose-step salutes in your Doc Marten boots, and you quoted Mein Kampf in our 5th anniversary card. I think you're a Nazi, baby. Are you a Nazi? You might be a Nazi, baby. You keep extensive files on the Nuremberg trials, and you watch them whenever they're airing. I guess I should have known when you bought a new bone for your puppies named Goebbels and Goering. You showed up late to our very first date. I said, how are you? You said, white power. Call me paranoid, but I'm not overjoyed when you ask me if I want to shower. I think you're a Nazi. Don't be lying, baby. Are you a Nazi? Are you anti-Zion, maybe? Your every dress is monogrammed SS. You hold an Aryan picnic and bash. And it makes me irate when you say I look great when I wear a little tiny mustache. Your social politics say that races don't mix, and you call it pure blood pollution. And whenever I'm sad, you say it's not so bad. For every problem, there's a final solution. I think you're a Nazi. Give me an answer, baby. Are you a Nazi? You drive a fucking Tanzer, baby. You say that love is blind, so how could I have guessed? But then again, I met you at the Wagner Fest. I know you're a Nazi, and that's why I'm leaving. I know you're a Nazi, sure as my name is Stephen Lynchbergstein.
All right, everybody, we're back. It's one of my favorite gimmicks of all time. Fucking Jew brontosauruses. Hashtag that shit. Tag us in it.
Jewosaurus.
Jewosaurus, yeah. Jewosauruses.
Oh, dude. God, man. It's just, dude, it's discouraging as fuck, man. It really is. And it's not like I expect America to stop bombing fucking oil-rich countries. You know what I mean? Like, that's not...
the people to be more evolved by now from where
exactly. I just want people to be like, oh well, this is probably bullshit. You know what I mean? But
that's working. I hate to put on the Uber conspiracy hat too, you know, but it's like, you know, that's exactly what, you know, that's exactly
Dude,
what.
It's like you just have to tell Americans that they're like doing God's work, and they're like, fuck yeah, dude, kill all those motherfuckers.
Not necessarily
for peace. You know
anymore.
what I mean?
But then you're gonna have leftists go like, you know, we're godless, you know, whatever.
Yeah. No, we're doing this for humanity. And you're like, yeah, no, do it for humanity too. You know, do it, yeah. Like, I mean, here's my thing, dude. Like,
God and humanity, not God and country. That'll fucking set the record straight for leftists and
everybody, yeah. Well, I mean, that was the thing that I was saying too. Like, I
pro-life warmongers will get it too, you know.
Yeah, dude. I was like, look, here's my thing. Let's say that he did gas his own people, right? Like, which I really find hard to believe. But let's say that he did. How the fuck does bombing them help? Like, and people were like, oh well, no. I had somebody that was like, well, we only bombed fucking military targets, and I was like, all right, well, listen, this isn't Call of Duty, okay?
I hate this place. Nothing works here. The medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years.
I was like, this isn't Call of Duty, like friendly fire, like friendly fires turned on. You know what I mean? Like it,
right?
So like you don't.
Hold on, man. You're killing it tonight, dude. You're killing it. Zach is killing it tonight.
Like, they don't, like, if you drop the bomb on the military target, it doesn't necessarily mean that the people that we don't want to kill that are, say, around the military base. That's like saying that if somebody attacked fucking, let's say Lackland Air Force Base in fucking San Antonio, right? That none of the civilians that live in San Antonio are going to die. Like, that's just not, they're not going to get hurt from that because bombs somehow stop at the fence line. You know what I mean? Like, it just fucking... And so it's to me, I'm like, dude, okay, so he gassed, let's say, I think what the numbers that I was even seeing was like 40 or something.
60 was the...
Okay, so 60, right? Like, are you telling me that you think we're going to drop 120 fucking missiles on fucking, on Syria, and we're not going to accidentally hit fucking 60 people? Like, because wouldn't it, let's say, like, that he really did gas his own people, wouldn't the moment that we also, like, if he gassed 60 people, wouldn't the moment that we killed 60 people make our attack pointless?
Yes.
Right? So, it makes us basically equal with him at that point, right? So, my thing is like, are you like, I think they've somehow convinced people that precision airstrike literally means precision to the degree that no good guys get hurt. You know what I mean? Like, they're just like, yeah, dude, no, it's a precision strike though. And you're like, dude, I think you have a real fucking misconception of what the fuck that means.
Just for context as well, when I got off air with the boys with the Friday Night Super Show, while all of this was occurring in real time, and the generals and whatnot had their press conference or whatever, and they also said we targeted places that had the capabilities to make these chemical weapons, and took in mind, what would be the smallest amount of quote civilian casualties. So that was their whole to do, the general's whole to do,
which is fucking beautiful. But the fact that you had to say the capabilities to make these,
yes, you're right,
like that, like fuck you. What do you mean the capabilities? You mean like you dropped it on places that we can verify are definitely making these weapons, right? Because
we fucking, by the way, we dropped bombs and fucking at Ace Chemicals in Gotham.
Yeah.
You know
what I mean? You're like, wait a second, dude.
Joke is not available at the time.
Yeah, I mean, can you show me the frame? Can you show me the frame in which it shows the guys actually making the chemicals, or are you just like going off?
Jack Nicholson fucking tumbles over the fucking guardrail, the batch of chemicals,
dude.
And and madness ensues.
I wouldn't be surprised if like they start using clips, right? Like fucking Scarecrow from the first Batman movie, like of him. They're like, and here's a video of Assad actually using the gas weapons on him.
I tell you what, and I really never want to put more on you than you can, and I'll help you any way that we can.
Yeah.
Start piecing together like YouTube clips.
Oh,
like
we can do it.
Memes,
Yeah.
Like memes in real motion, just to do like 15, 20-second clips.
Yeah.
I think that would do us some good as a show.
Yeah.
And especially if we shared them on the Facebook page or whatever, and like if we could,
I need to start doing some short clips of the show too, and throwing them on there.
Rip off that fucking scene that we just said, like Jack Nicholson falling over into the Ace Chemical fucking plant, with the hand reaching up with the glove. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
like
that.
victims of Assad's fucking
Right. Exactly, victim of Assad's gas attack or whatever. And just. Trust me, dude. We go viral in fucking no time.
Yeah.
I'm a marketing fucking.
How do we? Yeah.
How
will we now stop the Joker that he's created? Yeah. I think it really is though, dude. It's confusing as fuck. Like I just don't get it because I'm like, but wait a second, guys. We don't have any proof. We don't have any fucking proof.
You really gotta have a multi-dimensional mind to put all this shit together. I'm not. It baffles me, and I kind of get stuck. When it comes to this stuff too, like I get stuck in like a frame of mind when it comes to a lot of this, but I'm not delusional, in my assessment. I'm not delusional when I assess these things, but I'm also like, God, I also get to this point where I just go, God, this shit is batshit crazy,
Dude,
especially when you talk to other people in or out of the movement that we're in, and all of that stuff included. You go like, you see all these different opinions getting thrown out there, and I'm like, look, man, since I've been probably about 14, 15 years old, I haven't given a fuck what anybody. I actually had a long-standing argument with my wife this weekend over such a thing about why I like, it's almost a sense of pride where she's like, you don't care who's watching or what's going on at the time. And it's like, no, I don't. I am who I am. Yeah. And I made sure that if you were going to be with me, that you knew damn well that I was going to be who the fuck I am, because I am not hiding. I did that with my last marriage, and I was a yes man, and yeah, just whatever, go along to get along and all that stuff, even though I felt very much different. I wasn't a sellout. I just felt very much different than how I acted, just to, quote, keep the peace. And what did that get me? No peace whatsoever. So, fuck you. If you're going to be with me, like, this is what I am. And I'm not going to make apologies for it. If I recognize that it's something that I need to work on, I will. But I'm not going to, this is who I am. I'm not making apologies for who I am and what I believe to be right. I'm not going to make apologies for that. I'm just not. Sorry. But sorry, but not sorry, or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's where just people are not honest with themselves, I guess, is the real point of that whole discussion. People refuse to be honest with themselves. And I'm not going to spend the whole night on this. We got to at least hit, a handful of other stuff before we roll out here. But Pride Parade bans drag queens over fears they'll offend trans people. So, and like I said before in our opening to this, the left will never win because they are constantly eating themselves. They're cannibalizing themselves. It's how are you more oppressed, or how can you advocate for more oppressed people than what is already people that have made such strides? Okay. And you can also have this whole notion of, hey, we're not going to oppress our own people, and you can have your own like right-leaning self-indignation among leftist crowds in order to, quote, unify. But nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to be more oppressed than the next. You know what I'm saying? So that's where this article leaves us. Free Pride Glasgow, which bills it's Glasgow, Scotland. Scotland's doing this, I guess. Jesus. Which bills itself as being a non-commercial and more open-minded alternative to the traditional Glasgow LGBT Pride events, is taking drastic steps to prevent the oppression of marginalized peoples, banning drag queens from its annual parade. After extensive consideration, the Free Pride Glasgow committee members decided that having men dressed as women giving stellar performances during the event, which has been something of gay pride parades since the early 80s, by the way.
Yeah.
That having men dressed as women giving stellar performances during the event would be offensive to transgender individuals, that the quote non-binary people within their ranks would be quote uncomfortable with having drag performances.
Dude, I really wish that, like,
just
I realize that we don't have like a huge trans following or anything here, but
you have
I'd
a
really
couple,
like to hear some.
By the way, you have a couple people that I'm not going to put on blast because I respect them, but they do check in from time to time, and I do know that for a fact.
Yeah, as well as I do. But it's one of those things that, like, I really would like to hear people that want to say, "Hey, dude, that shit is crazy." Like, I'm getting really tired of people telling me how offended I am about everything. It's fucking crazy. Because, like, I very rarely ever hear from any actual trans people about how offended they are about things. But I regularly hear about how offended trans people are.
I have somebody that I went to high school with that was born a female, considers himself male, whatever, and I brought her up on the and very much is like politically aligned with somebody that is not fucking, of the cloth of the quote pulse of their people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They understand what it is. They understand, like, hey, this is my identity and this is what I believe, and I'm not pushing that shit on anybody, but this is what I do. And they're involved. They're involved in fucking situations, and issues that matter to all of us in the same aspect that you and I care about them.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's all I ever ask from anybody. They don't want to be treated any different. They don't want to be special. They honestly, like, as much as there are attention-seeking people, and I had a conversation with them, not too many weeks ago, talking about a lot of that stuff, and I was like, no, I like to keep people on their heels, and they're like, I understand that, and it's an aspect of, I am not here to do a community. They're an individualist. That's the best way I can put it, is that they truly get what we're doing based on the fact that they're an individual, not
and as they should be. Like, that's kind of the thing, like,
or whatever.
I've had friends.
No, you rule. You're an awesome fucking person. Like, based on that. And you're an individualist, which is all we ever asked of anybody. Don't be a collective. Don't fucking fit into the narrative.
Don't fucking lump yourself or anybody else into some fucking big fucking group just for the fuck of it.
Like, that's punk as fuck, and you'll always, my fucking, tip of the hat to something like that, just being punk as fuck like that.
Yeah, dude, I don't give a fuck who it is that you want to be whoever that is, but just fucking be honest with yourself and everybody else. That's it. You know what I mean? Don't fucking just associate with some certain group because that's who you're supposed to fucking associate with, because it's fucking annoying.
Absolutely. We got Dennis on the line. Dennis, we're about to hit our final break. I hope you'll sit with us through it and do our final segment with us. But what's up before we got to hit our final break, dude?
No, we're good. I'm outside. I'm sorry for the wind or anything in the background, but yeah, I'm down. Great to talk to you.
Cool, man. Well, then fucking let's hurry up and hit break so we can come back to this shit.
All right. Anything you want to talk about to lead us in to the final segment, Dennis, or?
Fuck your couch, nigga.
Holy shit. All right. Well, yeah. All right. We'll hit final break. We'll come back and we'll just roll this shit as long as we want to into overdrive and maybe cover another article or two. See what Dennis is up to. By the way, we've got, I do want to promote for J-Rev Radio, we've got a day on show, which doesn't happen too often anymore.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back in the studio, so maybe I sound better. But yeah, I'm trying to hang out with two of my brothers from Post Politics, if that's possible.
There you go.
Yeah,
fucking
absolutely.
A. Hell yeah.
Well, stay tuned. But yeah, we also got the. I want to definitely promote everybody listening Friday night to the Friday Night Super Show on 420. I'm planning personally to take the day off of work.
I was about to say, dude, I've been seeing a lot of advertisements for God of War, and every time I see
Friday,
it,
I get paid. Zach and Trip, this is going to be my first payday working at this new job. So Friday, I'm getting paid. It's 420.
By the way, Calvin got a job.
Yeah,
Calvin got a job.
And
nigga, you smell like French fries.
For me, I'm like, look, I fucking, as long as everything's in the clear, I am going to try to take off work Friday. God of War 4 comes out. I've been waiting 6-7 years for this to come out, and I've already got it on pre-order, so as soon as that shit hits, it's going to be downloaded to my fucking PlayStation. So I plan on fucking vegging out, getting baked as fuck while everybody goes to school and work and all that shit, and playing God of War 4 until the cows come home.
All fucking days, son. You can get these hands.
But we got a 420 Friday Night Super Show special coming up on Friday night, but we'll get into all that shit and more. And we got another article or two to cover before we get out of here for the night. So we'll hit a final break, 2 songs, and we'll be back. I gotta hit you know what? Never mind. Just stay tuned. Stay tuned, bitches.
Hit somebody.
You were the girl that changed my world. You were the girl for me. You lit the fuse, I stand accused. You were the first for me, but you turned me up. You dropped the bomb on me, baby. You dropped the bomb on me, but you turned me on. You dropped the bomb on me, baby. You dropped the bomb on me. You were my thrills, you were my fears. You dropped the bomb on me. You turned me out, you turned me on. You turned me loose, then you turned me wrong. You dropped the bomb on me, baby. You dropped the bomb on me. But you turned me out, you dropped the bomb on me, baby. You dropped the bomb on me. Just like Adam and Eve, set you free. You took me to the sky, I've never been so high. You were my peers, you were my friends. You were my hope, baby, you were my smoke. You dropped the bomb. You dropped the bomb on me, baby. You dropped the bomb on me. But you turned me out, you dropped the bomb on me, baby. You dropped the bomb on me. But you turned me on. You dropped the bomb on me, baby. You dropped the bomb on me. You dropped the bomb on me, baby. You dropped the bomb on me, baby. You dropped the bomb on me. We were in motion, felt like lotion. You were the girl. You dropped the bomb on me. I won't forget what you done to me, babe. Bomb on me, baby. You dropped the bomb on me. You dropped the bomb on me, baby. You dropped the bomb on me.
Holy fuck, it's hot outside, extra hot. The sun is closer than it's ever got. The sky's polluted, it's raining crud. Pandemonium throughout the hood. Every hour the planet shakes. Buildings collapse from the earthquakes. Freeways are packed, horns are blowing. Nobody really knowing where the fuck they're going. Tidal waves swallowing the shores. Coffins pushing up through your floors. It's suddenly freezing, we fall to pieces. Pray for Allah and call to Jesus. Some stay home and hold their wives. Others flip out and end their lives. Me, I climb the roof of my house, spread my arms out and sing. Walking along my path, the city is morphed into a bloodbath. Some are looting, others shooting. The devil's in the sky and he's recruiting. Tornadoes twisting through downtown, throwing buses and trucks around. It's snowing, hailing and burning up. I rock my headphones and turn them up. Folks dying, crying, dead and crawling. Run to the church, can't fit them all in. Watch the groundscape crack in half. A bottomless pit down Gratiot Ave. Some stay home and welcome death. Appreciate each additional breath. Me, I climb the roof of my house, spread my arms out and sing. Taking it all in, wow. Taking it all in, wow. Taking it all in, lightning, earth, shattering. Taking it all in, wow. Taking it all in. Soldiers fucking fall from the sky. Death with no clue when or why. The sun explodes and we absorb it. Our planet spins right out of orbit. Aliens show up and eat mankind. A virus spreads with no cure to find. God has had enough of our shit. A nuclear war breaks out and that's it. To be on this planet, living your life and see it all end would be alright. You can't complain, you wouldn't die alone. You can die with loved ones and die at home. And you're not missing anything when you're gone. Plus seeing it all end and what goes on. To see this great world come to an end would be next best to seeing it begin.
All right, everybody. Back at it. Final segment. Post politics. Got Dennis Ford joining us. What, you tired? Are you tired, nigga? What's wrong with you?
No, I'm here.
I'm talking.
No, he's talking to me because I wiped my eye.
Yeah.
So
Picking lint out of his eye.
Nah, man,
Like-
my eye was.
Or behind us, you know.
Hey, look, dude, I've already been here for 2 hours. You can't tell me that now I seem like I'm tired. Come on, motherfucker. I just had something in my eye.
Set the game up, Trip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get your game together.
Come on, bro. Come on. Ain't never
Let
had
you
nothing in your eye?
What's the gimmick tonight, bro?
No, I'm just saying, I would, during the musical break, I was eating some amazing food, like things that were like, 3 months ago I was homeless. I didn't know if I'd be able to eat that. But wow, amazing shit. And then everything that this show is, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not a jacking off session or trying to promote your show. I'm just trying to let you know. You know what I mean? This is amazing radio. That's what we need.
Appreciate it, sir.
Like, somebody that would call into this show and be like, oh, I want to talk about what the liberals are doing. That link that you posted on the Post Politics Facebook page, have we talked about that yet?
Which one?
They don't want transvestites to be at their gay march, or
yeah,
we had just talked, or like we were just touching on it.
That up as you called in.
Okay, yeah,
yeah,
that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
Yeah,
like they're eating themselves. They're cannibals at this point. And like I said, I was just eating, so that reminds me of that.
Well, join us for this. I guess this last article and whatever Reddit.
Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm not going anywhere. I love the show.
Rock
Let's
on.
do it.
But yeah, for whatever we're gonna throw in for the end of the night after we deal with this will be the final actual article that we cover here. Gay rights lawyer and environmental advocate immolates himself in NYC. A well-known gay rights lawyer and environmental advocate burned himself to death in New York City on Saturday.
Just like a Rage Against the Machine album cover.
Yeah, it's funny because he's taking himself wait a second, are you trying to act like...
made a sign.
Yeah, dude, you're like, are you trying to act like you're the equivalent of a Buddhist monk, like fucking protesting the fucking rape and pillaging of their people for fucking 30 years?
That was like I'm dousing myself in gasoline, burning myself alive as a monk to protest something that has nothing to do with burning or
he did it
dying.
literally. Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's the difference here because okay, so let's break this down here for a second before we start editorializing on this. But the charred remains of a 60-year-old. I'm reading this from the article, Associated Press, people. Washington Times, Associated Press. The charred remains of a 60-year-old David Buckle was found by passers-by in Brooklyn's Prospect Park. Police said he was pronounced dead at about 6:30 a.m. So this was like first thing.
He was barbecued, son. He was barbecue.
Stop making these fucking rash decisions early in the morning.
Like, dude, it is. Yeah, dude. Hey, listen, sir. Have a cup of coffee before you fucking go off fucking setting yourself on fire.
Before you roast somebody.
Yeah,
literally.
dude. Like,
you cook
God
somebody on a barbecue
damn.
grill.
Like, fuck, man.
Hey, if they
Hold on, is this the Bohemian Grove?
Yeah.
You're talking about the Bohemian Grove?
If they release pictures of this cocksucker, I'm gonna
His charred remains.
just be like
And you can get these hands.
roast, literally. But
roasted.
The New York Times said it was an email copy of the note, which also said, and here's the most important part and the irony to speak of it all, is the New York Times said it received an emailed copy of the note, which also read, most humans on the planet now breathe air made unhealthy by fossil fuels, and many die early deaths as a result. May my early death by fossil fuel reflect what we are doing to ourselves. So,
dude, we need to see what the chemical makeup of a human body after being burned does to the air, because if it fucking poisons the air,
like on the barbecue.
Like, no, like if it's bad for you to breathe that in, then like he literally like contributed to the problem in every way, shape, and form.
Would be. I don't think he thought this through very well.
I don't think so either, which is sad because you killed yourself to do it. Like you didn't even
Right.
fuck.
To prove a point. To prove a point, and it's like an old man burned himself to death. He lit himself
dude.
fire.
That's gotta be Kane.
For
Yeah.
Kane.
fuel.
And isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
Isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
Rain at your wedding. Isn't it ironic?
It's like you burning yourself to death. It's just what the fuck is going on out there?
That's the
How
world.
did that become how is that a thing? Like where?
I'm okay. I haven't done.
And
this
what
in a
kind
while.
of shitty family does this man have that fucking he expressed this idea with somebody and they weren't like, hey, bro, I think you should rethink that maybe.
Chill out. Yeah.
Yeah,
you
there
might
had
wanna
to
go
have been a few
smoke
people
blunt.
that were like, no, sir, don't do this. Yeah, this is a bad move.
Yeah, I'm writing that down right now. By the way, ironic Alanis drop. That's what that will be our
Like
next.
wedding on your wedding day. Bang. Yeah, you gotta play that. You gotta play that during the show.
Isn't
just like on Friday nights when Syria was getting bombed, you were like, it's the end of the world as we know it, and I don't feel fine. I'm high and drunk. Like, that's important. That's important to radio. Like people don't really understand that. That's what I want to talk to you about before we get cut off here tonight. Before you guys decide to wrap up the program, it's very important to do that because nobody is really doing that. If that makes sense, changing
it makes sense. And we kind of alluded to. Me and Zach alluded to this.
Is it a revolution? Is this like a revolution, or like what are we doing?
Well, here's what it is. It's a thing of not taking ourselves too seriously while being able to cover serious topics. That's really what it is, and that's what I hope that Zach and I bring to the forefront that not a lot of people do. Is that
bro, I'm a rock star, you're a rock star, Zach's a rock star, I can mention other people, but what I'm saying, we can't look at it that way. We can't really approach it that way, but we're the best.
I just hope that that's what we're doing as far as radio is concerned, is like bringing up important topics while not taking ourselves as seriously as the rest of the people discussing these types of topics are.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. When it comes to post-politics, I'm saying there's never been an instance when I call on this show, I'm a part of the show, that I feel uncomfortable. I feel at home when I call on this show, and I think that's important. And a lot of people listening, maybe, it's the first time tuning in, but, that's important. That's essentially what you want to do. You don't want to, it doesn't matter what we talk about, Trip, or Zach. Anything you want to bring up, we can talk about it. And we can break it down and analyze it, and that's what we do. But this show is very important to me. Like I said earlier, it's not a jack-off party. I'm not trying to promote this show or anything. I'm just trying to let people know, I draw influence from this show as a radio show. So that's very important. I put those extra life points, those extra points, it's not my gas tank, but it's like extra points that I put in, like being a radio show host, that I'm on Post Politics, hanging out with Zach and Church motherfucking Pew, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then Friday Night Super Show, that's one thing. But outside of all that, you know what I'm saying? The shit is crazy in the world. On the Friday Night Super Show, we were doing the show and they were bombing Syria, and I was on the street. I went to the store. I was talking to people.
Kids be trying this at home.
Nothing works here.
I hate this place. Yeah, dude.
I hate this place. Nothing works here.
Nah, man. It is. It's
that was
crazy.
Friday.
I
That
hate
was
this
Friday.
place. Nothing works here. The medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years.
Nothing works.
Dude, it's so fucking
Nothing
good.
works.
But it's like it's
even
just,
if you get a job, Trip. It's even if you get a job, people are still like, nothing works.
Yeah, no
It's
shit.
7 years. Nothing works. People don't give a fuck, man.
Dennis, I'm glad you brought that up because like I started to hint on this in an earlier segment before you even called in, but it's like I can't tell you, and I've gotten wrapped up in shit from time to time the past little bit, but I tell you what, as far as all this shit's concerned that we've kind of dedicated our lives to, as far as our
7 years.
as far as our
7 years.
our hobbies and entertainment value and everything that we do for our shows, etc., is that I'm most happy when I go, you know what? I am so happy that I get to fucking just say, this is what I am, this is what I believe in, and I'm only responsible for myself. I don't have to feel burdened with trying to change the world anymore. You know what I am? I'm changing the world by being the person I am, instilling that in my kids, and hopefully integrating another faction, a faction of youth.
Yeah, no, I mean,
very much against the grain youth.
I take fucking pride in the fact that, like, I can fucking go, my shit isn't perfect, but you motherfuckers are crazy.
But it works.
Hold
on, Zach.
Yeah.
My shit is not perfect, but it works. Guess what? I'm getting paid next Friday.
There you go.
You can't fuck with me. Especially when it comes to radio. You know what I'm saying? We're not, even what Trip was describing, he's not talking about social media or activism in general. He's just talking about being, you know what I'm saying, real.
I'm just a dude, and we're doing our part by just being who we are.
Gotta be real.
At the end of the day, the world's so fucked up. This movement has become so fucked up with people that really care about real issues. People that care about real issues, but they're totally fucked on them now just because of the way the tides have turned. And it's like, you know what, man? I'm cool doing me. I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part by just doing me. And I'll revert back to this. Just like I said about all of this shit that's gone down, don't like abortions, don't fucking get one.
You don't like doing radio shows? Don't do a radio show. But guess what, Trip and Zach do a radio show, and I do a radio show on Friday nights. Not to plug my
shit works.
Yeah, and we'll get our plugs in. I'm just saying, like,
you can't. Exactly what you're saying.
You want to fucking do some shit? You
don't like guns? Don't buy a gun, motherfucker.
Right, exactly. Like, look, you can only rely on yourself. You want to change the world? That's what you got. You can directly affect those around you. You're not going to go fucking shout somebody down in a fucking parking lot somewhere acting like you're going to change.
Unless you're an X-Men. Unless you're Wolverine.
Yeah.
Right. Unless you have adamantium claws, it's not possible, okay?
Or that new Wakanda shit. That shit gets down too.
Unless you have a debilitating cancer.
I mean, I know it's the new line and shit, but
unless you have debilitating cancer and weld swords, you can't fucking make that happen.
Yeah, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that.
It's not going to happen.
G. Willikers, Batman. Somebody's calling the show.
Holy rusted metal. Yeah, nah, man.
Rusted metal, Batman.
This shit is fucking crazy, man. No, I mean, it really is, dude. The world is fucking nuts right now, and it's so fucking crazy because I don't and it's like we've kind of touched on a little bit of all of it throughout the show, but it's one of those things of like, look, dude, it just amazes me still how fucking stupid people are as a fucking whole. And obviously, right, like, you've got your little individuals out there that are not fucking just idiots, but as a whole, as a fucking race, we are fucking ridiculous. Like, I mean,
that's the worst part about it, is that you have these people that, like, no matter how quote good their intentions may be, and good intentions are falling by the wayside because you have an overwhelming.
It doesn't matter how good your intentions are. If you're an ignorant fuck, those good intentions are not going to pay off. It's the whole, like, one of the greatest quotes of ever, dude, is the fucking path to hell is often paved with good intentions.
Ever. I like that.
Yeah,
I like
that was
quote.
Yeah, well, that little lead up to the quote will not be known as one of the greatest quotes of ever. But one of the greatest quotes of all time is the path to hell is often paved with good intentions. And it's fucking absolutely true. Is that, like, no, dude, if you don't know what you're doing, your good intentions don't mean a fucking thing. And that's kind of the deal. Like, we have so many people out there that are like,
hold on, Zach.
Yeah.
When I go to work tomorrow, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to get these people out of work as fast as I can get out of work. So I'll help them out. But we're working, you know what I'm saying? Well, when it comes to the show, we're not working together. It's not like me, you, and Trip. We have to, this is a job, because this is not a job.
Yeah.
But when I go to work, I have to work with these people.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I can help you out, you know what I'm saying? Let me, take a load off of you. No pun intended.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But we need more of that. You know what I'm saying?
We do, man.
We don't have it.
No, we don't have it at all, dude. We don't have it at all.
A bunch of people mask. Here's what the end game is here.
You understand what I'm saying?
A bunch of people acting like humanitarians and ain't doing nothing.
Exactly. The end game here, just to put it blatantly here, is that you have a bunch of people masquerading as fucking humanitarians and for the quote fucking better good of everybody else around them and the people that they represent or whatever, right? Yeah. These people that you go, we're
not just the libertarians, Trip. The whole Republican, Democrats, and everything.
Oh yeah, all of them.
We have a contingency here, and it's like a lot of people are like, well, we don't fucking buy into that. Like, yeah, we believe in this right, but we don't believe that people should be whatever. And then failing these people that are scared to not be a part of the crew, it's splintered and divided so many people that it's like, well, we don't know where, like, what we did in the last segment, talking about these people cannibalizing themselves. That's why it will never work. I'm not even saying like all of these ideas aren't bad ideas. Some of them are good ideas. However, the way that they go about them to achieve their fucking plight is totally fucked. And it's like you're not being fair to people that like. You're not putting everybody on a platform. What you really are is putting people on a platform that they're already crippled people. They're already people that can't do without your help. That's the left's game. And that's the part that sucks. That's the part that is totally counterproductive to the strives that they want to achieve. Is that they go, you can't fucking achieve blacks, gays, you can't achieve this without our help. That's honestly, they might.
It's funny you mention that, Trip, because if you turn on television and you watch any of these shows, guess what? They're gonna like throw that shit in your face. Just like this instance that you're talking about. The left is eating themselves. They're actually eating their own legs, feet, knees, all that shit. Like pork, they don't give a fuck. But that's really happening. It's crazy.
I mean, you look at how many of the anti-racist groups are just being racist. Like it's like what they're doing is being racist. And you're like, what the fuck? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Zach, there's no
it's not
way
even about trolling anymore.
Listen, even with affirmative action, Zach, there is no way that the blacks can achieve what they're capable of without us interjecting into their fucking lives and being
Black Lives Matter.
Dude, it's absolutely insane when you sit back here and tell me that, like, we need to do affirmative action so that more blacks can get into colleges, and you're like, wait a second, are you telling me that fucking blacks can't get into colleges without help?
Put up with all this shit.
Like,
I'm a proud shithole.
Nothing works here.
Exactly. Oh, dude, it's fucking insane,
I hate this place. Nothing works here. The medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years.
This is by far my favorite job.
It's terrible out there, and these people like they don't notice. I really can't harp on that enough. Is that really is the most biased, ironic, racially insensitive shit that you can place on anybody. And you have like these people, not only that, but these people that are shamed because they think outside of the narrative that fucking, quite honestly, we did this last episode that we did. Really privileged white people that we clearly are not.
Well, at least white people don't sag their pants and have their pants hanging off their ass. But I'm sorry.
These privileged white people that are going like, this is what we have to strive for because these people can't think for themselves. That's what they really want to tell you. These people that have no bigger problems in their lives other than fighting for the quote equality of women and gay, LGBT community and minority groups.
Hey, listen, if you don't have to go to work so that you can sit and preach about the fucking yeah. Like, if you have time to sit outside and bitch Monday through Friday about shit like that, then maybe you're privileged. I don't know. But I'm just saying, you don't have to be at work. Like, I don't know, dude. It really is. I mean, like I said, dude, the fact that people are willing to go bomb places so that they can save lives and have no idea what's going on in the first place is...
Black and white, clear as crystal. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
It's so fucking confusing to me. It's like, wait a second, dude. So, and yes, I've said it multiple times, but it's like, dude, with absolutely zero proof that this man fucking gassed his own people, you want to go drop bombs on that country?
Yeah, we're gonna bomb the shit out of them.
Yeah,
and we're gonna fucking bomb.
Yeah, no, so that we can stop people from dying. You know what I mean? That's how you stop people from dying, is you drop bombs on them.
Talk about why we poison people in the United States of America on a daily basis. When you go to the grocery store and you buy your groceries, you're buying poison, but nobody's bombing us for that.
Nah, man, we gotta bomb people for life. You know what I mean? It's insane.
Though.
Yeah, dude, it's like, what the fuck?
Yo, we're starting a new campaign up in here, son. Hashtag fucking
bombs for life.
Yeah, bombs.
Like I said, Flint, Michigan, right? People were sending me posts and they were like, Flint, Michigan is being fixed. Yeah, you got clean water.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You got battery acid in your fucking water. So good luck with that.
No, man,
Michigan.
it is. Yeah, dude, Flint, Michigan is not... Like, here's the deal, dude.
Nuclear, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, the nucleus and that shit comes together and that shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm outside. I'm sorry about the wind.
You got any new vitamins?
It's bad.
I need
Very
my
bad. Yeah.
From the slums of Shaolin, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the Wu-Tang Clan. I put your nuts on the dresser, just your nuts. And I'm like, bang them shits with a spike mallet.
Oh, man.
Anyways, I appreciate the show. Like I said, I'm outside. You know, I don't really have any final thoughts. I just appreciate the show. Politics, I'm trying to like do a bunch of shit to get the wind out of the conversation.
Dude, it's fucking...
outside.
Man, I've been on the phone outside, dude. It's like fucking impossible. I understand.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Zach.
I understand the struggle.
This is important to bring up. Because I was talking to Zach about this. Not Zach, but you're an artist. But I was talking to Trip about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to radio, you really have to analyze your perspective and what you're doing, because you don't want shit going on in the background. Like, you really want to do a radio show the best of your ability. And like I said, I'm dodging wind here. You know, like I'm outside. But when I go inside, it's going to be crystal clear. But right now, you know what I'm saying? It's where I'm at in life. You know what I'm saying? I have to go outside. Be on the phone.
Oh, Jesus, dude. But yeah, let's. Hey, man, Dennis, I'll be a part of it. Fucking.
Yeah, next Friday, man. I'm getting paid, man. I'm getting that check.
Show, 420 on the date. 420 special for the Friday Night Super Show.
Yeah.
Right? J-Rev Radio. So, Dennis, drop that shit, and we're going to wrap the show up, dude.
Yeah, it's fine. Like I said, I apologize for the wind and everything else. But
all good, man. Not a problem at all.
Not apologizing for your show, because, like I said, anybody out there listening, Post Politics is where you need to be at, ladies and gentlemen, on Wednesday nights and Sunday nights at 9 p.m. and 9 p.m. What I say? PMs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right. That makes up for my misstep earlier.
Show. It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Just tune into the show. It's amazing shit. And yeah, we do our things on Friday night.
You just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I've ever heard.
You lose points.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. May God have mercy on your soul.
Right. That's a fine sarsaparilla. I'll dig your style, Trip.
Oh, shit, dude.
Oh, shit.
All right, so let's wrap it up, man. Good show. I love you guys.
Yeah, much love.
Much love, brother. Much love.
I'll be in touch. Hopefully you'll be back Wednesday night, but I know you will. No question.
Yeah, no worries.
Out.
Yes, sir.
All right, much love, dude. Later.
Deuce.
Zach, final summation, sir.
Oh man.
Or fucktards.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm going to go out on about the same thing I came in on, fuck people. I'm about tired of this shit. You guys are fucking ridiculous. Pay attention to something. Like, don't,
Trust-
like, I mean,
trust
really.
yourself. Trusting yourself.
Trusting
I guess.
yourself. Here's the deal, fucking, when you read an article, don't well, first of all, I think first thing that needs to be said is read a fucking article. Don't just read the fucking headline, because that seems to be like
Stop attaching yourselves to politicians and pundits.
Absolutely. But when somebody, like, when you read an article and the headline says America has proof that Assad gassed his people, read the article and make sure that this whole proof thing that they're saying is actually something that
it's in your mind, not just because of what the source viewed,
that
like
actually has proof.
Oh, this source is a trusted network.
Yeah.
Maybe I should really think about this because, that makes sense.
Listen,
Yeah.
just because the guy dropping bombs in Syria didn't say that this news source is fake news doesn't mean that it's not. So it just kind of, kind of the way it is. Also, I want a big shout out there to Alex Jones for turning a corner there. That fucking made me happy. Hey,
Like
and
that-
actually, you know what, dude? We actually don't ever fucking throw a fucking, any kind of props towards, military of any type or anything like that. But there is actually fucking Gunny died today.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, there is definitely a faction of, I've used faction, which means a rogue element within. But
I would say though that if you're military and you're listening to this, you probably are a bit of a rogue element. But yeah, no, Gunny died today, dude. Gunny, fucking Emery or whatever. I can't say. I never say his name right. But most people know him from Full Metal Jacket. But I watched Mail Call and everything else too because the guy's I love him. He made me laugh. But either way, he died today of pneumonia.
Did not know that.
Yeah, what the fuck?
on top
that seems like a tough dude, right? Like pneumonia took him out. Like, man, dude, that sounds like some Oregon Trail type shit.
Yeah, you always hate to hear that kind of shit, especially amongst old folks. But it's just like, hey, that's
fucking happens, man.
Bullshit takes some old folks out. That's
it does, dude. It'll drop them. But yeah, either way, I actually just came across an article that had said that, and I wasn't aware that he died until about the middle of this show. So,
oh man, I really didn't want to say this on this show, but it's something that's been fucking with me. I might have cancer in my blood.
Oh,
so
man,
I'll leave you assholes with that.
Man, fuck, dude, ouch. You fucking end on that. That's fucking rough, dude.
It's fucking very rare, and it just might be some hog shit, but I just might not be taking care of some things the way that I need to. Like that's not a fucking tried and true, but I went and got some blood tests done, and it might be. However,
well, fucking yeah.
I'm scared of needles, but basically the best thing that all of my blood specialists have been telling me is that I should donate blood. And that will help me a lot more with what's
all right.
going on.
Hold on. I gotta review this for a second because now I'm confused. Right? Like,
sorry, I didn't really want to.
No. I mean, I realize that, but hold on. I'm confused. How? If you have cancer in your blood, why should you donate blood? Like I don't. Right? Like I'm confused.
Okay, first off, I don't know for certain. They're checking. They're.
Yeah, but if you did.
Basically gone to a secondary thing, and I went to a cancer specialist, and they're reviewing it. So within the next week, I will know for certain whether I have cancer in my fucking blood or not.
Okay.
But regardless, you can also just take blood out, even if they throw it in a fucking garbage bag. Because I've been reviewing this shit over the past week, going like, I just need to generate new blood in my body would do me a lot of good with the ailments.
Okay.
So, worst case scenario, I have cancer in my fucking blood, in my marrow, in my bones, and shit like that, which is why I've got a lot of symptoms, which is terrifying to me. But
yeah,
that's what I'm dealing with right now, and
brother.
I don't think it'd be the case because the cancer specialist doctor goes, "You're young, you smoke." That's probably a lot to do with it. He checked my spleen out, which I guess was a real big defining factor, but my levels that are low in a certain aspect of this is alarming. So they're doing secondary testing on my blood to make sure it's not that. And while it's rare, and he said my spleen felt fine and all that stuff, he goes, you should probably start donating blood. That would do a lot. Vitamin D and donating blood. That's what I need to do. And I'm terrified of needles, and I'm fucking very...
And you don't fucking like orange juice, so it's just going to be a bitch.
No, I love orange juice. I'm just a little...
You get heartburn from citrus?
Yes.
So do I, dude. That's a motherfucker, isn't it? Orange juice is good. I like orange juice, but
I take Metrazole every fucking day. You know, I take a heart pill every fucking day. So that's just part of my gimmick. And I thought that had attributed to my like joint and joint stuff. You know, like my rusty hinges, as I've called it.
I got you.
Over the past handful of years. But, I don't know. I don't even know why I said that, but it is a possibility. So within the next week, I'll find out.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm not going to stress because I don't get worried about shit until I know, right? Like I'm more that dude, but
yeah, I'm trying not to, but
I can see where
basically what the specialist, the blood specialist, like other than my regular practitioner told me was basically, I got to start taking vitamin D supplements and I have to start giving blood would do a great deal, like pretty much quarterly. If I started donating blood, that would do a lot of good for me, even if I don't have what my worst fear is. So chances are, from what the guy said, he goes, at your age and what you're dealing with, and
that's not very common.
Felt my spleen, and he's like, I'd be very surprised just by looking at you. You know, that's what he said. Just by looking at you, I can tell that that's probably not the case. But we have to rule that out and basically say, hey, whatever. I'm in my 30s now. You got to start going to the doctor, start looking at that shit. Hey, thoughts and prayers. Whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
But I hope I don't have fucking cancer in my blood marrow.
Yeah, dude. No doubt.
That's what's going on with me. But all right. But from I'm still I'm a little bit freaked out, but I'm not too freaked out from what the doctor told me. But I definitely need to start giving blood, and I'm just a pussy when it comes to needles and stuff. Like I can deal with the pain or the prick or whatever. I just have to look away. I get lightheaded when I look at it and all that shit. I'm a pussy when it comes to shit like that. Like I can hold on a conversation and look away from whatever's going on.
Hey man, then you're gonna have a problem with that donating. Well, I mean, I guess it's not plasma. Plasma's a fucking different kind of a needle.
Yeah, I'm O positive. It's a universal fucking deal. I shouldn't be down.
Oh man, I'm O positive as well. I guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so fucking I'm O positive, and they look for that shit. It's 39% of what they look for. I've done a ton of independent research over the past week or two.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's all good, but I'll let you guys know if I do have cancer, and give as much to Zach as you possibly can. Get back.
Nah, man. We'll we'll be good, man. But keep us informed, man, for sure, because I want to know what the fuck's up.
All right, man. Shit. All right. Yeah, we're rolling out. Peace out. Catch you guys Wednesday night. Much love.
Much love,
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast. That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast.